to promulgate and put out the lead and copper rule, and they did not. In fact, they came to us and said that it probably won't be out until 2018. We heard testimony from one of our witnesses whose only dog in the fight is to make sure that we got good, clean water across the country. He wasn't part of the state of Michigan. He wasn't part of Congress. He was a professor, and his number one push for us is the lead and copper rule, which was never done. It was never done. And that's on the Obama administration. That's on the EPA. But to exempt regulations concerning lead poisoning and trying to pretend that that would have somehow protected Flint, obviously whatever rules that they had there were not sufficient, and they certainly did not were not followed in terms of putting forward the lead and copper rule. Let's remember, the Commission must determine the regulation is no longer necessary. The Commission would then make a recommendation to repeal the regulation, and then Congress would need to vote on getting rid of the regulation. And so, again, I come at this and say, look, let the Commission do its work. Let them look at these regulations that may be holding us back. Let's look at regulations that maybe were implemented in the 70s or 80s in a very different time. And there are whole sets of checks and balances along the way. But let's not pretend and scare people that, oh, we're going to get rid of whistleblowers, and oh, the water's going to be worse. And that's not the goal of the Commission. And let's not, pretend that this somehow would hurt. It was responsible for Flint water. That was on the Obama administration. That lead and copper rule should have been out. And I would plead and work with the gentlewoman from Michigan to push now the Trump administration to hurry this thing up, because that's what the locals need across the country, is a lead and copper rule that they can now implement.